everyone. I'm Adam Brown, and this is Shell Point Today for Tuesday, September 9th. On today's show, we'll hear about technology working for you. We'll get a tech tip from Penny Modrich about updating your applications. And we'll meet with our nurse practitioner, Dr. Carol Clark, and Tara Hazard, who will introduce us to the new patient portal for accessing your health information at the Shell Point Medical Center. But first, we want to remind you that the Tea and Tour at the King's Crown is happening today at 10 o'clock in the King's Crown Community Room. Yesterday, we heard from resident Herb Sklar about his class, Digital Camera Prep School. The first of 3 sessions is today at 9 a.m. in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. It will continue next Tuesday and the one after that. We recently went over to the Aquatic Center to check the newest thing going on at the pool, water volleyball. Well, tomorrow is your chance to get in on the fun as water volleyball officially starts up at 2:15. Come on out to the fabulous LifeQuest Aquatic Center and have a ball. Also tomorrow, Periwinkle resident Debbie Melkai will be leading a class called Paper Book Folding, where you can learn to make a fascinating sculpture out of an old book. It will take place from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock tomorrow in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. For more information or to sign up for any of the activities we've talked about, stop by the Island Service Desk in the Resident Activities Center on the island, or call at 454-2282, or the Woodlands Service Desk at 454-2054. From digital cameras to smartphones, tablets, and desktop computers, we have a lot of technology available to help us these days. But it can be a lot to keep up with. Well, Penny Modrich is here with a tech tip about keeping up with updates.
Hi, I'm Penny Modrich. I live in Nautilus, and I teach in T3. Today, I have a tech tip for you. Updates. Updates to apps are changes that the designers of the app have found necessary to make. They may include such important changes as fixes to bugs that have been found and reported by users like yourself, or changes that had to be made to keep up with operating system changes. It is important that these updates are allowed to be made to your apps to keep them working properly. Your devices can be set to automatically keep your apps updated. What you do is you just go to your settings, select iTunes and App Store, and then make sure that the updates is turned on and it'll show up green. It's that simple.
Now that you have that computer or iPad all updated, there is about to be something new and very convenient that you can do with it. A new EZAccess patient portal will allow you to access your medical information from the Shell Point Medical Center. You will be able to get test results, update your personal information, fill out necessary forms, make or reschedule appointments, and deal with prescriptions, all from the comfort of your own home or wherever you happen to be. Our nurse practitioner, Dr. Carol Clark, is here with Tara Hazard to introduce you to the EZAccess patient portal and an academy class coming up to help you learn how to use it.
Hi everyone, I'm Terry Coleth. I'm here today with 2 very special people, Tara Hazard, Shell Point's informatics specialist, and Dr. Carol Clark, our ARNP and our own medical center. And we're talking about something brand new for Shell Point that you're going to be very curious about. It's called Patient Portal, or EZAccess. And we're talking about a way you can come and find out more information in the Academy of Lifelong Learning. Thank you for joining me, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
All right, Patient Portal EZAccess, brand new to us. What is that, Tara?
The Patient Portal is an online 24/7 way for residents to access their healthcare information, and they can communicate with their healthcare team at the medical center. It is HIPAA secure and government certified, so you can feel comfortable in that there's a security involved in this new product.
Okay, we've all heard some of those words that you're talking about, and now we're going to bring it home to Shell Point. And why are we doing this at Shell Point, Carol? Why are we doing this at Shell Point, and why now?
Well, actually, there's a huge historical piece to this story. For the last 30 years, the officials in health at the highest levels in our government have been crying out that our healthcare costs have just expanded exponentially. And yet we had some of the lowest outcomes in the world for wellness, even though we had the highest per capita costs. So actually, we've had this language going on among healthcare think tanks for many, many years that we have to get to a better place with people taking individual responsibility for health. Well, those things were all good and well, but then came the question, how are we going to know that we're doing it? So the government has put some things in place that we actually are complying with. It's called meaningful use, and an aspect of that is that we have a mechanism for patients and their families to communicate with providers 24/7, as Tara mentioned.
So we know there's a need. There's been a need historically for quite a while for that communication, but no real way that the patient could control it.
Right.
So now Shell Point is kind of on the forefront with making this a reality.
Yes, especially in the CCRC environment. We really are probably leaders in that area of information technology.
Okay, what are the advantages for Shell Point?
One of the things that the portal does, it allows the processes within the medical center itself to be streamlined. So the providers are doing care and putting into their software product information that is critical health elements about this patient. That can be communicated easily and quickly to a referral source, and the resident can easily and quickly access that information rather than waiting days to get requests for medical records. They can go online and see the kinds of things about their health care or the health information that's being stored on them and make certain that it's correct, download it, take it with them to somewhere else. So they have a very immediate way of communicating with the healthcare team when something's not right or they have questions about what they see.
So not only do we have this need to communicate that Carol has mentioned, to cut costs, to streamline and communicate, we also have medical specialties, and we have patients going from one doctor to another doctor. How do they communicate? How do we make sure that they're communicating what we understand, and how do we give feedback? Is feedback going to be a possibility?
Yes, absolutely. Possibly in the future there could be surveys, but the resident is free to send a communication through the portal immediately.
To their physician.
It goes to the medical team, and the physician gets it after that.
So I can see the advantage for the resident then. They get their information, they can respond. For instance, if your doctor says, I want to know your blood pressure readings for a couple of days, can the patient put that in?
Yes.
Yeah. Instead of waiting, calling, people translating to other people. All right, now I hear that there's a blue button. What is that all about?
The blue button is kind of the government's way of giving patients an identifier to say, this is yours. So most products, like our patient portal that even other doctors would have a blue button. It's a quick, easy way for an individual to just basically push the blue button, and up comes a summary of all their health critical elements. It would have their problems listed. It would have their medications listed. It would have the lab values. It could have any number of different things. It'll have their allergies on there. So with one button, they get this summary and history, and then they can download it, print it, and make sure that it's correct, hand it to someone else, emergency team, or just another physician that they want to see.
Or talk to their family.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, this is information you might want to know about me. So blue button, that's something we do on our computer.
Yep, it's literally a little blue button, and it says blue button right on it.
Can't miss it.
You can't miss it.
It's fabulous. What else are we going to cover in this class?
We're going to review the procedures for how to do this, and it's really all for the purpose of improving care coordination, reducing medical errors, improving privacy and security, And in the end, we hope it shows that we're taking credit for wellness management and responsibility for your own health through a documented means.
Well, as always, I want to take a few minutes on behalf of our community to say, I know this doesn't just happen. A lot of people work on this to make it happen, and you represent two of the people on the forefront. So we're grateful, as always, for what you do on our behalf. Thank you. And you would be silly to miss this opportunity to come and find out all about the patient portal and EZAccess. Both of these people will be there to share information with you Tuesday, September 23rd from 1 to 2:30 in the Grand Cypress Room. Come and find out what it's all about and how it's really easy access.
Next week, you will receive more information about the EZAccess patient portal, and a new webpage will go live which will include a step-by-step instructional video by Tara Hazard. Now it's time to cover all of today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
I'm Mary Franklin here today with Bev Chanley with all of your activities for Tuesday, September 9th. We start off bright and early at 7:15 with Bend, Breathe, and Balance in the Health Club on the island. At 8 o'clock, you can head outdoors for a game of pickleball or round-robin doubles tennis. 8:15 to 11:30 this morning, the Stamp Ministry Group will be doing their volunteer work in the stamp room in the tunnel. Ladies Golf Association will be teeing off at 8:30. And that brings us to 9:15, where there'll be open painting in the art studio, and the shuffleboard players will be playing outside the Resident Activity Center. Match play mixed doubles tennis will start at 9:30 this morning. And at 10 o'clock, if you're signed up, there's an assisted living tea and tour in the community room of King's Crown. 10:15, the Through the Bible study group will be gathering in the Osprey room. And our last activity for Tuesday morning is 11:45, Health Connections, Living Healthy in the Osprey room. It's a great group. Everyone's invited. Michelle Smith will be doing that activity. Check it. Stop by if you need some healthy living tips. Bev, take it away.
Thanks, Mary. At 12:30, it's time for Mixed Progressive Bridge. That'll be in the game room at the Woodlands. The Knitters group will be in the Osprey room at 1:15. Also at 1:15, we have the Rollicking Recorderists. They'll be down in the Tarpon room. And finally, at 1:15, we have the Women's Ministries Prayer Group, still meeting at 408 Royal Bonnet. At 1:30, we have a Health Connections class. This one is Aqua Pilates Stretch. That's in the LifeQuest Aquatic Center. The Stamp Ministry will be in the Sable Room at the Woodlands at 1:30. We'll move for another Health Connections class at 2:45, Balance and Mobility Training Level 2. That is in Health Club, and it's currently full. All right, well, we thank you for joining us today. We will see you back here again tomorrow.
Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Koleth with your Academy information for Tuesday. At 9 o'clock, our digital camera prep school begins in the Sable Room of the Woodlands at 9 o'clock for those who signed up. And at 9:15, improving your computer skills will take place in the Computer Teaching Center on the island for those who signed up. Also at 10 o'clock, the glorious history and culture of Thailand and Phuket in the Grand Cypress Room of the Woodlands. You can sign up right at the door. At 10:15, an iWorks Pages class begins in the Manatee Room of the island, and you can sign up at either service desk. I'd like to take a moment to thank our Pavilion Auxiliary volunteers and to tell you there are opportunities to join them, especially with our new reception desk that's going to start very soon in the Medical Center entrance to the Medical Center and Pavilion. Please give me a call if you're interested in this or any other committee.
Menus for Tuesday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is beef tips with mushrooms over egg noodles and broccoli. The dinner special is Build Your Own Stir Fry for $13.95, and the soup of the day is loaded potato. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is seafood salad on a croissant with coleslaw for $7.25. The dinner special is country fried steak with mashed potatoes and a layered salad for $8.25. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm David Pavey, Assistant Pastor. During the Second World War, I lived in a thatched cottage in the pastoral countryside of Wiltshire in the southwest of England. Far from the bombs that were falling on the cities, my world was composed of verdant fields and hedgerows, farm animals, and crops of hay and corn. Every now and then, however, there was a reminder that the country was at war. Our tranquil life would be disturbed by convoys of military vehicles which would pass our garden gate on their way to or from nearby Salisbury Plain, home to the largest military training area in the United Kingdom. A cartoon from those days is lodged in my mind. Local recruits from the army are on parade, marching through their hometown behind the military band, ready to go off to war. Concerned parents are looking on with pride. Suddenly, a doting mother exclaims to her friend, "Oh, look, Florence, they're all out of step except our George." In the book of Galatians chapter 5, verse 13, the Apostle Paul writes, "Let us keep in step with the Spirit." Sadly enough, too many of us Christians, like our George, think we're doing fine, but we're out of step with the Spirit. Keeping in step with the Holy Spirit means that our behavior derives not from the mechanical observance of a legal code, but from our relationship with God. My wife cooks my supper, for example, not because I order her to, but because she loves me. The result may be the same. I get my supper. But how different the motivation. I know a man who as a teenager found an enormous challenge to keep his bedroom tidy. His mother would shake her head and murmur prophetically, "Son, I don't know whom you're going to marry, but I'll tell her I tried." Some years later, when the bride had been chosen and the wedding ceremony was history, we learned that it took less than a week for the young man to learn not to kick his dirty socks under the bed at night. He was now motivated by a loving relationship rather than adherence to rules. Again, I know a man who, when a lad of 16, his father asked to do a chore, perhaps mow the lawn, "Make me," responded the lad, albeit with a twinkle in his eye. Said the father, "I know you're a young man now and you're bigger than I am, but I also know that because of your love for me, you're going to want to please me." The boy did the chore, not because of instruction, but out of love for his father. The Galatians, to whom Paul writes, had begun their Christian life on the basis of a relationship with God, but had let someone convince them that Christian living involved obeying a list of rules. They had fallen out of step with the Holy Spirit. Jesus told his disciples that if they loved him, they would want to please him. The Christian life wasn't about rules, but about relationship. You may remember a dramatic moment during the women's 3,000-meter race at the 1984 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. The media billed it as a duel between American world champion Mary Decker and Zola Budd, who ran barefooted for Britain. Decker was ahead, but just over halfway through the race, Budd pulled ahead of Decker, who tripped over her leg, fell forward, and crashed onto the infield. In similar fashion, many Christians have fallen by trading their relationship with Christ for bondage to a legal code. They have fallen out of step with the Holy Spirit. So don't be like our George. Keep in step with the Spirit. And thank you for tuning in to Village Church Connections.
We're glad you joined us for today's show. Tune in tomorrow when we'll hear from Robin Church at the salon. We'll learn how rubber bands can help keep you healthy, and we'll see a photo recap of the recent Shell Point trip to Switzerland. Until then, this is ShellPoint Today for Tuesday, September 9th. I'm Adam Brown, and for all of us here at ShellPoint TV, we hope you have a great day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.